St. John's to me is community.
For me, it's liturgy.
Nourishing.
Comfortable.
Loving.
Spiritual.
Welcoming.
Joy.
Hospitality.
Family.
Love. And kindness.
St. John's is hopeful.
My spiritual home.
What brought us to St. John's was the welcoming community. We met with the clergy when we were church shopping, and that immediately gave us networks that got us into the fold pretty quickly.
We moved here from Newton looking for an Episcopal church, and we started with St. John. We were going to sort of check off and go to the next one, and we never went to the next one. We just stayed.
So I have 2 kids, and my husband was a part of a church when he grew up, but he stepped away, and he knew that I wanted to bring my kids back. And St. John's has been the one place that he feels he's comfortable with us attending church every Sunday.
St. John's is a special parish among the 175 that I serve. It's a very, in many ways, traditional parish, but also continues to look around at the community, and with the faithful commitment of the members here, it looks forward, not just back. Church has to do both of those things, as do the people of God.
Because of the community, the people in this church are exceptionally friendly, welcoming, helping.
It just feels like a second home for me.
St. John's means so much to me because of the way I see my children light up when they're here. And if we're late, they're so upset because they haven't been able to be there for every moment. And seeing that excitement and joy for them to be part of it is something that makes St. John feel like it's home.
I love it here, but I didn't always feel welcome here. It was a little bit challenging when I first came in, being part of the LGBTQ community. However, I felt like I had to stay. I thought it was important to stay, and have since been very welcomed, and people are more willing to be open and have open conversation and more acceptance. I think that's something that we can work on in the future for all underserved communities.
Even though there are only 2 or 3 families of color in the congregation, that is African Americans, I think that there are opportunities to have other members of the congregation understand, learn, support, and even though they can't put themselves in our shoes, they, how do I describe it, lend a loving hand when there's pain or discomfort.
I'm not staying at St. John's because I'm leaving for college, but this place will always be with me. The memories, the people from Sunday school through youth group and to the final Labyrinth project that I was able to do for my senior year of high school. This place will always be with me, and I owe St. John's everything.
This is the horizon I run to spiritually when I find a need to be with God, to feel God's presence, not just because of the beauty of the space, but because of our parish's deep reverence for liturgy, for prayer. And no matter how innovative we all try to be in terms of outreach and inclusivity and social awareness, we still stand on that rock of the Book of Common Prayer and the liturgy as we stand in common around that table.
I find God every Sunday when I worship here. I find love in Bible study every Wednesday.
I find God at the altar. I find God in serving the church, in serving the clergy, and in serving the congregation.
Everywhere you look, you find God. When you walk in the door, you find God, the welcoming feeling that you get from all the other parishioners, the staff, everyone.
We're always anticipating people's needs and kind of going that extra step to be there for each other, no matter where we are in life and what our needs are.
I like learning about God, because you get to see the stuff that he did, and you can follow in his footsteps.
I find God in St. John's through my children, through the looks on their faces when they come through the door, by hearing their voices when they sing, when they carry the cross, when they read the words of Scripture. And for me, it's one of the main reasons why I carry faith, to pass it on to them. And St. John's is a beautiful place to bring that alive.
It's a super welcoming community. And I think you walk through the doors, whether you're super spiritual human or you're a super social person or you're an introvert, there's a place for you here.
I think it's really wonderful and refreshing to see a mission statement in the weekly bulletin, because it keeps you focused on what we're all here for, what we're all here on this earth for, and what we're all here at St. John's for. And that's to be good people. That's to be forgiving. That's to be givers. And I think St. John's builds the community by giving us opportunity to do all those things.
Fellowship takes many forms. It's found in service, and that's where I see it in a huge way here at St. John's. We see it with the youth programs, and where the high school youth group will go out and serve dinners to needy folks. And also with the youth going to the Appalachia Service Project, which I lead here, there's huge amounts of fellowship there. You just create lifelong bonds through programs like that.
Like, I know the first time I ever come to St. John's, like, the first person we saw, it was Miss Jackie. She was like, oh, come sit with us. And, like, she taught us, like, me and Lucy, when to stand and what to say and everything. So I just think everyone here is so kind, and there's some awesome people here.
We have folks who are in their 80s working with teenagers. We have so many service opportunities and other projects in the church that bring different age groups together. And it's just so beautiful to see that intergenerational mix of people working together and getting to know each other.
So one thing I love about St. John's is that community is everything. And one thing we discovered as a parish is that period poverty was a huge prevalent problem in our community. And we started Free Period as a response. And here we are 2 years later with volunteers from all over the state. We have $500,000 in state funding to help us do this work. And it really has grown into a community response past the walls of this parish.
One of the things that I have loved about this church over these last 10 years is that time and again, parishioners step up. And whether it's to start this crazy idea of a not-so-spooky haunted house for the community, or to address racism and start then our anti-racism ministry, and that means something. It means something to me. It makes me step up. I just feel like there's so much talent in our congregation, and people give of it willingly and enthusiastically, and it's part of the magic of this church.
My hope for St. John's in the future is the word that's coming is hub, that it's like the hub of the community, a place where people come and gather.
To grow and to expand our ministry and to maintain the spirit of friendship and welcoming hospitality that is so evident here.
To see this church continue to be a vibrant place where people can come to not only practice their own ministries, but to grow in their ministries.
That we continue the good works of the in-reach that we do while expanding the outreach locally, statewide, and nationally.
My hope for St. John's is that it continues to grow and continues to have a focus of inclusion and community and children, because I think if we can draw in others from other backgrounds and places and young families, it's going to keep thriving.